Good day, everyone. Welcome to my online discussion. I am Markin Arius, and for today's topic is all about volleyball. In this topic, we will be able to learn history, development of volleyball, its facilities and equipments, terminologies used in volleyball, and the officials and their duties in volleyball. Before all those things, let's talk about what is volleyball. So, volleyball is a team sport in which two teams by 6 players are separated by a net. Each team tries to score points by grounding the ball in the other team's court under organized rules. And now, let's start with the history and development of the game volleyball. Volleyball was started in the United States in 1895 by an instructor at the YMCA, William G. Morgan, director of the physical education of the YMCA, Holyoke, Massachusetts. After a few years, it became a popular activity of the YMCA's. At first, the game was called Mintonette and was originally designed played solely indoors on a hard floor. And later on, by the suggestion of Dr. Alfred T. Halstead, its name was changed to volleyball to match the action of the sport. The first volleyball game was played on July 7, 1896 in Springfield College. The first World Championship was held in 1949 with more than 50 million people now playing the sports in over 60 countries. In 1951, volleyball has become part of the Pan American Games in 1955 and the Olympics in 1964. The outdoor version of the volleyball was born as a tournament sport in 1948. It's called the beach volleyball, in which it is a 2-on-2 competition played on the sand. And here's a fun fact. Do you know that the Philippine volleyball players are the one who invented the set and spike? Well, that's true. Amazing, right? Now, let's proceed with facilities and equipments.
Ball. The ball used for volleyball is smaller than the basketball bladder that was used originally. For indoor volleyball, it should have a circumference between 65 and 67 centimeters and fully inflated to an inner pressure between 4.3 and 4.6 pounds psi. Once inflated, the ball must weigh between 260 and 280 grams. During FIVB competitions and world events, 3 balls are used and must meet the same standards as the other balls before being approved for play.
And next is the volleyball court dimension. The volleyball court is 60 feet by 30 feet in total. The net in place at the center of the court makes each side 30 feet by 30 feet. Center line. A center line is marked at the center of the court, dividing it equally into 30 feet squares above where the net is placed. Attack line. An attack line is marked 10 feet of each side of the center line. Service line. A service line, the area from which the server may serve the volleyball, is marked 10 feet inside the right sideline on each back line. The net. The net is placed directly above the line, 7 feet 4 inches above the ground for women and 8 feet above the ground for men. Poles. Volleyball poles should be set at 36 feet apart and 3 feet farther out from the sideline. The ceiling height. The minimum ceiling height should be 23 feet though they should preferably be higher. For the basic skills in volleyball, it includes the serving, the passing, the setting, the spiking, the digging, and lastly is the blocking. First is serving or serve.
Serve. One of the 6 basic skills used to put the ball into play. It is the only skill controlled exclusively by one player. There are 2 types of serve. First, the underhand serve, and the second is the overhead serve. The underhand serve is a type of serve in which the player holds the ball in one hand, swings the other in an arc motion below the waist and strikes the ball from the bottom with a fist to put it in a play. In an underhand serve, the player does not toss the ball up in the air as in the other serve attempts. The second type of serve is the overhand serve, in which the player tosses the ball with one hand and strikes it in the air above their head with the other hand. Overhand is more advanced than underhand but does not mean it's impossible. You won't master the serve right away, so be patient.
Next is the setting or set.
Set. One of the 6 basic skills. A tactical skill in which a ball is directed to a point where a player can spike it into the opponent's court. Sets can be set at different heights and different locations on the net, and offensively, there are names for each of these. First number is location on net, and second number, height of set.
Spiking or spike.
Spike, also called a hit or attack. A ball contact with force by a player on the offensive team who intends to terminate the ball on the opponent's floor or off the opponent's blocker.
Passing or pass.
Pass. One of the 6 basic skills. Receiving a serve or the first contact of the ball with intent to control the ball to another player, also called a bump.
Blocking or block.
Block. One of the 6 basic skills. A defensive play by one or more front row players meant to intercept a spike ball. The combination of 1, 2, or 3 players jumping in front of the opposing spiker and contacting the spike ball with the hands.
And lastly is the digging or dig.
Dig. Passing a spike or rapidly hit ball and low to ground. Defensive play. Slang for retrieving an attack ball close to the floor.
And for our last topic is the officials and their duties in volleyball. The referee.
Referee. The referee is the individual at the center of the court, usually dressed in black and white stripes. A referee duties includes signaling when a rally begins and ends. The referee is responsible for officially recognizing team requests, substitutions, timeouts, and communicating with the coaches at appropriate times. There are often multiple referees in a match. The first referee. The first referee stands on the referee's stand and controls the play of the entire game. Whatever issues arise during the game, the first referee determines the call and has the final say. After making a call, no player or other referee can argue the call, although a formal protest can be placed with the scorer. Before the match begins, the first referee inspects the equipment and the player's uniform. The warm-ups and a coin toss also fall under the jurisdiction of the first referee. Throughout the match, the first referee makes call regarding faults and scoring issues. Following the match, the first referee notes the score and signs the official paperwork. Second referee. The second referee works to assist the first referee throughout the game. If for some reason the first referee can't finish her duties, the second referee may take the place of the first referee. The second referee stands next to the post opposite the first referee. In addition to assisting the first referee with determining faults throughout the game. The second referee is in charge of all substitutions, timeouts, and the actions of the scorers tables.
The line judges.
Line judges. The line judges stand at the corners of the court watching the lines to indicate whether a ball in play falls in or out of the court. If a server steps on the line during a serve, the line judge watching the given line notifies the referees using a flag.
The scorekeeper.
Scorekeeper. The scorekeeper creates official records of volleyball games. Before play games, the scorekeeper records team and player information. Once the game begins, scorekeepers not only track points but also player substitutions, sanctions, and timeouts. The scorekeeper keeps an eye on the individual serving the ball to track the rotation, identify referees of potential lapses. At the close of the game, the scorekeeper records the final score of the game. There are two types of scorekeeper. First is the official scorer, which keeps track of the score throughout the volleyball game. Before the game begins, the scorer notes the starting lineup of each team and notifies the referees if the lineup was not received on time. If a dispute or irregularity arises regarding the score, the scorer uses a buzzer to notify the first and second referees. Additionally, when a substitution request arises, the scorer notifies the referees. The second type of scorekeeper is the assistant scorekeeper. Assistant scorekeeper or libero tracker is responsible for updating the scoreboard and keeping an eye on the libero. The libero tracking duty was added in 1999. This individual records changes in the libero rotation, notifying referees when problem occurs